Folks, welcome back to Conversations. I'm your host, Ryan.
And I'm back, Sung.
And today, Sung, we have a very special guest.
Yes, we do.
Andy Ahn is back on the pod.
Welcome back, baby.
This is your first time seeing him on the pod,
Yes.
but what's actually special today is we're going to go into a rabbit hole.
Oh,
right?
yeah?
We're going to go into a rabbit hole, and we're going to talk about some stuff that's a little bit on the, let's call it conspiracy theories. Right, because Andy is a self-proclaimed conspiracy theorist, right?
I consider myself a free thinker.
Okay.
I love it, man. I love it.
Well, today, whatever we talk about, right, guys,
Yes.
it's just all entertainment purposes. Guys at home listening, we probably don't really fully believe in any of this, but it is all interesting stuff. So don't take it too seriously. We might get into some crazy stuff and go into real rabbit holes, right? So
beware, man. Beware.
right, so are you ready?
This is dead. Come on, I'm ready to go.
All right.
When we discussed this, I was like, yes. So we'll have a good conversation. Listen, we're having fun, so it's all good.
Yeah, for sure. But first, let's talk about one thing. We have something coming up, right, in the summer.
So yes, July 6th, Saturday, July 6th, we're gonna be doing our Summer Boo event. I think is that the name?
It's the Boo Summerfest.
Yeah, Boo Summerfest.
Oh no, sorry, Boo Summer Block Party.
Boo Summer Block Party coming July 6th. We're working on the details right now. We're gonna have DJ, guests come through. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna have some beer tasting. It's gonna be a fantastic event. So come through for sure.
Now this is what we're doing is basically you want to show people that you have all these cool beers and craft beers and stuff, right?
Yeah. So the last time it was kind of crazy, but we were showcasing our beer and wine. So we do have beer and wine Koreatown. And we have some new things like the mini box, things like that. So we want to have people come check it out because I know there's a lot of new people that moved to K-Town recently over the past year, and so we just want to have people come through, have a good time. We're gonna have a DJ, like a DJ Portira is gonna be there with her van, playing some great music. You're gonna have some guests here, so it should be a really good time.
And we got some.
That's a dope. That DJ and the tin can, the truck.
The booth,
that booth was pretty dope. That's really dope idea. But I'm really excited about that, man.
Yeah.
We'll have plenty of giveaways, good stuff.
That's a fun contest, right?
We'll have some T-shirts, hoodies, things that we're gonna give away, and obviously you guys are gonna do your thing over at the
we'll do a live podcast. We still haven't exactly figured out what we want to do with our show this time. We might change it up a little bit. We might have some eating contests,
special guests,
some special guests. Maybe have them entering into these eating contests. So we'll see. So yeah, we're excited. So it's July 6th in Koreatown, Boo's Philly Cheesesteak on off of Wilshire Boulevard between Alexandria and Kenmore.
Kenmore, Alexandria, like right across the street from Robert F. Kennedy High School.
Yeah.
Across the street where Ambassador Hotel used to be, where Robert Kennedy Jr. I mean, we're going down this where he was assassinated. But no, right next to HMS Bounty. I'm pretty sure if you're in LA, HMS Bounty, you guys know about it. 85 degrees, but it'll be fun, good times. We're all going to be there. Great guests and good food,
and come hungry, man.
Plenty of giveaways.
Plenty of giveaways. These minis are amazing. So if you guys didn't missed it last time, you definitely have another chance to come check it out. So you guys got to come through. Okay. So, all right. Well, now that we got that out of the way, we can do the.
Let's buckle up, man. We are gonna go.
Come on, put your hands up, Andy.
Woo! We're going down the hole. Let's
go. Okay.
The red pill or the blue pill. There you go.
Now. Like I want to talk about some stuff, but I mean, what were we talking about earlier?
So yeah, man. First off, before I kick off, man, I saw did you guys see the Netflix Tom Brady, the roast of Tom Brady?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It was hilarious, but there was one that really particularly stood out for me when Andrew Schultz, he had the whole.
Well, who do you think he did the best first?
Oh, who do I? That girl Nikki, man.
Nikki Glaser.
Nikki Glaser killed it with the whole the Gronkowski crypto.
Me not smart. Yeah, me.
Knows real money.
She's good. She's good. Maybe we'll have her on the podcast one day.
No, that'll be awesome. Yeah. But yeah, there was one clip that I saw with Andrew Schultz, man, that really stuck out, which was because Belichick, the coach, came late, so he goes, he's like in the audience, like, don't worry, he's secretly taping this, and he also goes, Belichick's known for taping more men than Diddy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know about you, but you heard what's going on with Diddy lately.
Yeah. What's going on with Diddy? Break it down for us, because it's in the news.
He's some peekaboo hidden video kind of deal.
He's like the Black Epstein, right?
Yes.
Like, is that what's going on?
Okay, so Let's go down the rabbit
Let's
hole.
go down. We're already in it. We're already here.
We're in the rabbit hole. So, Diddy. No Diddy. Let's talk about Diddy. So, I did some research, did some due diligence on this guy, and I think it's crazy because
What is he being charged for again?
So he hasn't been charged yet.
Or what is he being? What's the allegation?
So no. So what's going on is so supposedly they're going after him for a RICO charge because there was a case against Cassie brought a civil case against him last year. And the civil case that Cassie brought was crazy, where she was being basically what was going on was that Diddy was like being like crazy, just messed up stuff, right? And obviously that was already messed up in the first place. But what he was doing he was like hiring male prostitutes to have sex with her while he was watching. Like he was into the weird, like just weird stuff. And all this is like in you could look at the documents, like all the case is all there. You can see it. And he was like, obviously abusive to her, like messed up stuff. And then so that goes on. And then literally the day that the civil case comes out, I think they settled for like $30 million, and he just gave her the money the next day.
Okay.
So that got canceled, whatever, not canceled, but he just gave her the money, and
They
that
settled.
just it went away. Then he had a producer named Lil Rod. Lil Rod came with some
Is that
crazy.
the
One of his
neighborhood
producers,
thing?
one of his producers
Lil
from
Rod.
the Love album that just came out that he did, which is a weird album, by the way.
I didn't even know he's so.
Yeah, you really didn't know. But this album, this case was crazy because he was saying that Diddy was trying to pimp him out to a bunch of dudes.
A guy.
But like Cuba Gooding Jr. And Cuba wanted.
Oh my gosh!
I swear to God,
I believe it.
This is
He
all
did-
written
he did
down.
Boat Trip.
I'm not saying anything. I'm not lying. I promise you guys, these are all things that are available on the internet for you guys to watch. And then, so what blew me? So I know you guys were saying that you guys heard rumors about Diddy being, into gay stuff, whatever, right? Yeah. I really didn't know that, but when that happened, when he got arrested, this whole, the internet blew up, YouTube, whatever. And then that same week, I remember watching that show, Quiet on Set. Did you guys watch
Dan
that?
Schneider thing.
Yeah, the Nickelodeon where like
thing,
dudes like molesting kids, like crazy stuff.
he was
So all this
creepy.
stuff coming out, I was like, holy crap. And then so after the Diddy thing blew up, you saw people going through the past, right? Everyone.
Yeah.
They
Well,
went through-
everyone was doing an
They were-
interview.
yeah, everyone
or
was-
something like, dude. No one shut their mouth. Dude, it was funny.
So it was crazy because then the rabbit hole became like a freaking
black hole.
It was like it was like a black hole. Like it just expanded, everything just got sucked in, and everyone was like, "Oh my god!" They were talking about what Diddy was doing back in. They were bringing up he was party promoting back in the day, and this is kind of crazy. This is where it gets crazy. So, the party promotion thing was happening when he was starting Bad Boy.
Okay.
But everyone was like, where did he get money to start Bad Boy? Right? Yeah. And I was talking to you guys earlier about how, like, he was an intern at Uptown, and the story was that every weekend he was hustling.
He grinded from the streets, yeah.
Did you know his dad was a gangster?
No,
I think I
didn't know
heard
that.
I heard that something, yeah.
His dad was killed because he was a snitch.
Oh, shit.
He was from New York. I thought that he was from D.C.
Mm-hmm.
The story was he went to. I don't know if that's 100%. I don't know, but I'm saying like I found out. I was like, hold on, his dad was they're from New York. I didn't know. And then the story, and like I said, conspiracy is how do you get the money to do Bad Boy? And the Bad Boy thing was crazy because how is a 24-year-old if you're not connected? How are you getting money to sign Biggie?
Yeah.
If you really think about how did Biggie get signed?
Well, even they said that Biggie wasn't even making any money because there's a conspiracy about Biggie too, wanting to leave. Well, this whole thing came out recently. I saw too about him stealing his whole flow from another notorious. It was another guy. Another guy from down south.
Biggie stole it from someone.
Biggie stole his flow. Like there's another guy that's out there that they now see. Here's the thing: internet's now you can't control it. It's too fast. Information is going too fast. Before they could put a lid on it, but now everything's getting exposed.
Well, that's the reason why everything's coming out.
This guy literally had his verse, and Biggie stole the verse and used it in Juicy. Same beat, just sounded a little different. Same flow, same style, like, like that. So it was like
credit for it pretty much.
no, I think what they did was they literally paid him off and said, "We're gonna take your shit."
Yeah, but I think that was probably Diddy.
Yeah, Diddy for sure.
I don't think it was Big.
No,
I
it was
think
Diddy for
Diddy
sure.
was like, just do it this way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, no, I heard that one too.
Yeah. So it, for me, I always knew he was weird because he was like, he always had his mouth open, and like sometimes you would see him looking like those, looking at someone like in a weird way, like in like a video or something, and it's just he just seemed a little suspect to me. That I'm not surprised that he's getting.
Well, think about it, man. The record with Bad Boy,
What? Bad Boy?
Yeah.
What about it?
That's the name of it. I mean, think
Oh,
about
yeah.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Bad Boy Records.
just Bad Boy Records right there, man. Like,
yeah, right. So then it leads back to even he even has some shit with Keefe D and the murder of Tupac too.
Yeah.
You see that one?
Well, no.
Yeah.
So that's all the rumors, right? So first of all, let's be honest. Like, this is all speculation. We don't know the truth. I wasn't there. We weren't there, right?
yeah.
But logically, where did he get the money to sign Biggie, to at least give him money? It wasn't like he came from money unless he was doing some street stuff. I don't know if that was the truth, but my question was like, hey, where did he get his money from? So if you go down the rabbit hole a little further, it was that there's like certain people that control the music industry. Clive Davis was one of the names that are mentioned in the game. Clive Davis, that, Whitney Houston, like big names attached to this guy. He gay. And he gay. Right?
Did you say he gay?
Clive Davis is gay.
Oh, okay. He gay.
He's gay.
Okay. I thought you were saying a
That's
name.
a new.
Hey,
He gay?
nothing wrong with being gay.
No, nothing wrong. Nothing wrong.
But so the rumors are saying that Diddy he did what he had to do. Diddling with Clive to do what he had to do to get this. But this is where it goes down to like the whole Epstein thing, right? Like, what's the purpose of music, movies, politicians, whatever? Is a system of control. If you think of it from that perspective, I was like, dang, like, it sucks to say this, but it's like, it is a system of control. And if you have the few power players are like, all right, we're gonna use these players to run and control. Like, think about how powerful music is.
Of course, man.
Right. And I don't know if you're religious, but music is the devil's, like, that's what he was the angel of. So
well, that's what
that rules the world, man. Music rules the world.
Music does rule the world, and this is what we talked about before, like how music and media, I feel like, brainwashes certain people to act a certain way.
For sure. Diddy, if you're watching and you take our podcast to the next level, Sung is willing to do some stuff.
Bad boy.
Bad boy for life. But anyways, really, his story is just like, when you hear about him, like, now we go into a little bit of the stuff that's in the news, him like, effing, rappers, like, or guys, to help them give a record deal so they can, and then they forget it. They have to like live with it. So then, I feel like people in power, after a while, like, you just get everything you want. You're going to start doing stuff like that.
They get bored, so they want to do something different,
Right?
Think about it.
So maybe that's,
power.
Well, I think that's part of it, but also if you can use those people to control other people. I remember watching this podcast where a rapper was telling, I think his name was Truth. That was the name of the rapper, and he was talking about, this is like 3 years ago, and he was on a podcast, and he was talking about how, like, and when you're in the music, whatever industry, whatever you're doing in life, right? You got to be on P's and Q's. But this was kind of crazy where he was talking about how how artists and rappers get into these really bad deals. A lot of those rappers they party, right? They go to the studio and they'll like drug their drinks, right? And the next thing you know, they wake up and they're like, "What the fuck just happened? Why my butt hurting?" Right? And then they go into the studio or they go into to corporate to sign a deal, and they're like, "You gotta sign this deal," and you're like, "No, I'm not gonna sign this deal." And they're like, "Oh, you don't want to sign this deal? Guess what? Boom." They showed a video of you just getting raped by a bunch of dudes, right? And I watched this like a couple months ago. I was like, what the hell did I just watch? And then the whole Diddy thing blew up, and I was like, damn, like people are willing to go to a whole new level to control. Well, first of all, that's how blackmail works, right? It's like it's a way for you to control people, and you get they find your weakness, and whether it is whatever you're into in your bedroom or whatever, they get you, and then they can utilize you. You know what I'm saying? And that's a crazy thing.
That's sinister, man.
It's so sinister, but at the same time, like you gotta know these things, and if you're on top of your game, and not to say everyone is, it just happens, right? You're partying, having a good time.
Yeah.
You went to a Diddy party, freak off, cool, and you go out there, and next thing you know, you wake up next to a freaking like 15-year-old kid, like what the hell?
It'd be like Justin Bieber or something.
But I mean, even he has some songs.
Bieber was in it too. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what literally happened was like, and then use that against him. What are you gonna do?
Doesn't he have a song? Like he's like, I lost myself at a Diddy party or something, and he said, did it for a Ferrari. And then he was like, but what is the cost of it or something? Like lyrics is like his lyrics.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's Justin Bieber's lyrics. Like he has a song like that. Like he went to a Diddy party. I don't remember. I'm not a Justin Bieber fan.
You think Diddy, so who are the victims of Diddy then? Who would we name it? Like
well, they said Meek Mill.
Oh yeah, I heard about Meek Mill too. Yeah, man, Meek Mill, man.
I got a few friends that love that guy. You know,
real quick, man.
Usher,
Justin
Bieber, Cassie, Lil Rod.
What about Jigga Man?
No, I think I think they were doing it together.
No, Jay was, dude. There's like rumors of him. He was the rumor was that Jay was with Rihanna when she was underage. Like his thing was underage girls. Okay. That was his thing. The music industry and the film industry, like they call Hollywood Petalwood, and that's kind of true now. It's like, you know, you see all these like dude.
I don't believe it, but all these things that are coming out is making it coming out. Like, damn, it's hard to not believe it.
I feel like the media and like what we watch on TV sort of give us like a indirect hint of what's going on, right? Like, let's just be real. Like,
well, yeah, they say people who are the people who are doing evil stuff, they are hiding in plain sight. They say it to you. They'll do it in music videos and shit. So it releases, like, I guess it's like something about Satanism that it releases their guilt on it if they show it to you, and if you don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I heard they do like a lot of Beyonce music video, Rihanna music videos.
Oh, they're kind of crazy. Everything is crazy. I mean, I don't want to get into
it. Comes out to Illuminati, right? Isn't that what it is at the end of it?
Illuminati?
The Illuminati, man.
Illuminati?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, man. Don't put that Stephen Curry on me right now, man.
Guys. Please don't come after us, Umaminati. Umaminati?
To be honest, I don't think it's like the name Illuminati. I think if you're like in a position of power, you're gonna have friends that are gonna. It's like some outside people will call it the Illuminati or whatever. But in simplifying this, like if you're in high school, like the people in power are like the most popular kids, right?
Yeah.
And what do they always do? They always do some shady stuff, right? They're always like spreading rumors about people, setting people up. I mean, what
kind of school you go to? I went to. Everybody was like studying together,
right? I mean, high school is like that. I mean, high school, college,
the most protected school ever.
Like, what school did you go to?
What school did you go to, man?
I went to I'm not gonna say it, but anyways, I went to a high school in Los Angeles, and the majority was like white and Mexican. So it was like most of the party was chill. Nobody was. I feel like I was the worst kid in the school, so like, and I wasn't black man.
Okay, but maybe your school at that time was fine, but there was a lot of high schools. I remember like my high school, my freshman year on the public school, like rumors just spread. Like if you spread a rumor,
rumors for sure, yeah.
Yeah, but there were people that spread rumors on purpose. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's weird.
I
don't think I've ever gotten that in high school. I'm pretty lucky then, because
I guess you're a
everybody was pretty. No, I'm saying everybody was pretty chill in my high school.
But like I said, it depends. Like it depends on who's at that school, right? So that's where like you see all these rumors where like, in high schools around the country where kids would spread rumors and it just spreads so quick, but they do it on purpose because they want to destroy someone, right? Like this.
I bet you there's actually the Illuminati or that group of power, but there's really someone above them too. Like that's a really small few.
Possibly.
That the Illuminati is just the way to make us feel like, oh, there's something sinister going on, and it's just like I don't know. That's the whole thing about conspiracy theories. I would say I'm a 70% of the time with most of the stuff I think about.
I think it's entertaining.
It is.
It's up to you to take it how you want to take it.
But here's the crazy thing. The crazy thing is that all these conspiracy theories from our past, like, i.e. what, the moon landing and stuff like that. Now, because information is traveling so fast and people are doing research and there's all these ways to get information that it's just hard to hide it. So it's like, I mean, I enjoy it, but I do see where it gets a little on the fringe, you know, like.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
where do you balance it? Where do you balance that information how do you balance it?
For me, it's like I need as much information as possible to make a judgment on a situation, right? So like, and this is how I do it. Like when I have my X or Twitter or whatever or Instagram, I have a bunch of people on the right, a bunch of people on the left, and a bunch of people in the middle that I follow, right? Yeah. I might not like people on both sides or whatever, but then I follow as many people as I can that shows that I might be crazy on this side, or crazy here, but I'm like, all right, cool. And then that way I can make a judgment based on what they're saying. But my goal is ultimately like, what's the truth? And that's how I try to perceive my reality, because this COVID thing, it just blew my mind what they did, right? What the system did. And I was like, man, I can't believe what just happened over the past 4 years. And that was my last straw in terms of how I perceived my reality and the world I mean, the Diddy thing it's messed up. It's funny at the same time, but it's messed up what was going on Diddy, because obviously he was like his job was to what was he was basically the hip hop Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is.
Right? And
Gatekeeper.
His job was to, well, he's not even, he's like the low level guy.
Low level.
Because his main boss, you know, it's crazy. His boss is Lucien Grange, right? Lucien Grange is also Drake's boss.
Oh.
Yeah.
The Champagne Poppy.
Champagne Poppy. And you saw what's going
Champagne
on.
Poppy.
Y'all saw what's going on with Kendrick. Just
so do you think
Kendrick
that's fake?
messed him up.
Do you think that's fake, the beef? That just set up like to just fucking trick us again?
You mean like
to get us all, you know, riled up? And
I personally think that maybe Drake was, because if you look at what's going on, Lucien Grange basically said Drake has unlimited budget for his music. I'm like, bro, when's the last time anyone told you had unlimited budget for anything?
What's the price tag for that, right?
What's the price tag for that? Fine, cool, whatever. Drake starts a beat with Kendrick, and Kendrick just demolished him, right? I mean, I don't know. That's what I've been hearing.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think so. Anyways, I think Drake he's good, but I think Kendrick is a better, like, more hip hop.
Well, Drake is
like a poppy R&B that has rappers featured. Like, that's the way I look at it. And I might upset a lot of Drake fans or whatever, which is, you know,
mostly
Is
girls.
that mostly girls? Yeah, I guess so. But Kendrick is always, you know, he has all these hits that are like, and he has a dope voice too, in my opinion.
But do you think this came at the right time to distract the whole Diddy?
There you go.
That's what I'm saying. Media does things to cover it up.
100.
I didn't even put that together.
100.
The reason I say that to you, because like after COVID, when people had so much time to research things, because before when COVID happened, things were going the way it was. COVID just put a whole, like, it just woke everybody
I
up.
feel like they've been doing that to us. We just
I know,
caught on to it.
Yeah, we caught on to it because we had so much time just to be secluded in our house to do nothing but research or just like be interested in by that kind of stuff, right? Let's just be real. But yeah, man, like, I just believe the media does a good job trying to cover it, but this one I think it's a little bit overblown. Like, it's a little bit too hard to cover up.
Well, you know, even with remember when Jamie Foxx kind of got into a coma and he disappeared, and he was talking about Diddy, like he was going around doing like a tour about on podcast.
It's like the Clintons, you know, the Clintons.
So,
they cover it all, you know?
But so let me ask you this, and then there's like this elite society, right? You guys think? Do you think that Diddy's thing is connected to? Do you think he's gonna end up like, you know, like Epstein, because he has too much information as well, because he's a lower level of maybe some higher guys?
So if he's smart, which I'm pretty sure he probably thought that he can be thrown to the wolves, was that he recorded all those people, right? All his rooms had all those sex parties at the freak offs that he recorded.
Insurance.
Insurance was that plane flight that left. Remember that private jet that left to that island? Like, that might, I don't know. This is all speculation, but like, how is he still alive?
Who?
Right? Diddy's still alive. And they still haven't brought a case against him. So we don't know what.
Well, it takes some time, right, to put together.
No, but bro, man, it takes some time,
it.
but like, come on, man. Like, there's a reason why it hasn't been like, it's just been in limbo right now, man. Like,
I mean,
I'm pretty sure Diddy has them by the balls.
It's slow, man.
Diddy got them by the balls too, man.
The process of law is slow. And he has money to be able to kind of.
I think the people in power that could be able to dethrone him, I think he has a step on them as well. Let's just be real, man.
Maybe.
He's a smart dude, man. He's a smart guy.
So
man.
what's
Maybe
his
on like
name?
Elon and stuff like those guys.
Oh my goodness, what was his name? Anthony Weiner. Remember that guy? He worked for the Clintons, Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
He is still alive, and he had this file on his computer. Supposedly, he had a file called insurance, and this file had dirt on her.
Oh.
Yes, that's why he's still alive. And his ex-wife, Huma Abedin, she's now getting married to George Soros's son, Alex Soros.
Do you know who that is?
No, I don't know what that is.
He's
George
the guy that,
Soros?
you know, Soros, like speakers. Like the,
Sonos speakers.
yeah.
No,
he's on-
Soros.
No,
George
Soros.
Soros.
I didn't think that you would know the Sonos.
So George Soros,
got me on that
George
one.
Soros is like a billionaire. One of his big things was he made $1 billion crashing the British pound back in like the early 1990s.
Mm. So
he made money just doing crazy stuff like in the currency, stock market, whatever. And he made money as a hedge fund manager as well. I think it was called goodness gracious, I can't believe I forgot the name. He worked with a bunch of big name guys are now their hedge funds. They own their division.
BlackRock?
No, it's not BlackRock. It was another one. Anyways, he is considered the guy that funds all these DAs in America. So he pays for their elections and stuff like that. One of those guys being Gascon in LA. And so basically what he's doing is paying for these guys to get into power in SF, LA, New York, Chicago.
This is true, or is this allegedly?
This is
all recorded that he funds.
He funds all these DAs all around the country, and now it might be lies. Oh, I mean that's from what I've understood.
Mm-hmm.
I've gathered, and this guy, is so powerful. Like he just goes. It's called the Quantum Fund. That was the name, Quantum Fund, and he made just billions.
Yeah.
So he's like 90 years old or something like that. So he's like done. So it's like his son Alex Soros is supposed to take over, but
I hear his name a lot, but I don't really pay attention to that side of, you know. I mean, I'm in politics. I do follow politics. His name comes up a lot in politics, like, oh, this George Soros funded DA or George lawyer or whatever. So it's like, so yeah. I mean, but it's very possible that because Rupert Murdoch has a freaking shit ton of power too.
Yeah.
And you know, like he controls the Washington Post and some other the New York Post. Sorry. New York Post, and then like
no, he has a Wall Street Journal. He used to run Fox.
I swear he does the NY Post too.
It might be one more post.
Yeah.
Washington Post was what's his name? Jeff Bezos. Yeah.
Okay. See, look at all these guys who they own all the media, and that's why now, because of the internet and stuff, everything that's coming out is all of just people, right? Like exposing stuff. Like us.
Yeah, but
like
I
us.
feel like if we really paid attention to it, with not like the first layer of it, there's some meaning behind it. Like think about like some of these movies, like I said, movies, like some of these music videos don't even relate to what the music's about.
Yeah,
man.
true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and for us, like especially like the little kids, they be getting them really good. This whole social media, dude, man,
yeah, we don't need to talk
like
about
like
that.
Taylor Swift, like for instance, I don't want to get into that, but I'm pretty sure there's something about Taylor Swift as well.
Well, they use her for. I think they what they're using her is just to get new voters. I don't think there's a huge conspiracy, but I know, you know, during the Super Bowl, they showed her a lot, right? Like
So Taylor.
he was gearing up right now.
He's gearing up. He's the anti-hero.
No, listen. I believe that Taylor she's a talented singer.
Yeah.
She's talented.
Yes.
She's a great songwriter. She's great.
Yeah. Great artist.
But there has to be something that happened because her masters was owned by Scooter Braun. Scooter Braun's the same guy that was
He found Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
But he was also the dude that was like messing with Kesha, right?
I don't remember.
I think it was anyways, he's like responsible. He's like producer, but he's also like a business guy, music guy, shady guy, whatever. I don't know. But she went on stage and said that Scooter sold her masters when she was like 14, 15, you know, like from Love Story, like all her first couple albums. And he sold it to a company that's managed and owned by Soros and Carlyle Group and these big names. And I'm just like, why would these big name, company. Carlyle Group, by the way, was they benefited a lot from 9/11.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's a when you talk about how music can influence people, like that money that comes to like when you like Michael Jackson's music, whatever, you own the catalog, you're not only making money, but you're controlling people and how they think. Because for me, growing up, my identity as a kid was, oh, I love hip hop. My favorite rapper was Jay-Z. But because like Jay-Z's thing was like, his whole thing was like, yo, I came from nothing, I hustle, whatever. I was like, oh, I'm a hustler too. I'm gonna fucking work hard, make money, da 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 da. And I wasn't rich. I was, whatever. And that was his identity, right? So you get that identity, like, oh, this is who I am. And think about how many kids and girls, boys around the world, they got the identity from their artist or music.
Of course.
That's how you become a person in your like prepubescent like years. All the kids that became gangsters because they listened to gangster rap, right? And then you find out years later, Ricky Ross, Freeway Ricky Ross, he was actually a CIA agent, right?
Rick Ross, the boss?
Ricky Ross he's from LA.
Oh,
not Rick Ross.
Oh.
Rick Ross,
the big boss.
Rick Ross, the rapper, he took it from Ricky Ross from LA.
I see.
Ricky Ross,
yes, I did hear
Ricky
that
Ross
story.
was responsible for the crack epidemic in LA, and his handler, the guy he was getting his crack from, was behind the whole Iran-Contra thing. They were pushing that the whole crack thing in LA and America happened because they were funding money by selling drugs to America to fund Noriega and their thing and over down. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
It gets crazy. It gets crazy. So the reason why they pushed, and this is even Ice Cube talked about in the podcast. Like he said, hey, listen, the CIA was behind the reason why rap music became so gangster in the 90s was because a lot of those guys that own the labels or the music industry, they also own the prisons.
Yeah.
Right? So like I said, music is so powerful. Like you could just get a bunch of I'll be a gangster, whatever, with a sort. Let's gangbang. They got millions of kids turned into gangsters that just end up in jail.
I mean, Tupac wasn't even a gangster. Like he wasn't really a gangster. He went to a liberal like art school
in Baltimore.
And then he was an actor. He was in the arts, and then he was a back dancer for Digital Underground. Yeah. And then he went to jail for that the rape thing or whatever, right? And then after he came out, like,
which we don't even know if it's. I don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah, or like the allegations, but yeah, and then now you're like discovering like, dang, okay, he created that persona. Oh, after Juice, like that's when he created that character. That was a character from Juice. Like basically he was playing, right? So yeah, like even to hear that now when I'm watching like videos and going into like, whatever TikToks and YouTube videos, I feel so like deceived, like cheated, like damn dude, like they played us, man, like they hella played us. And I mean, I wouldn't even go, I would go as far as even saying like I wouldn't be surprised if Tupac and Biggie are somewhere because they're just like, hey, they pay him off, this is gonna for our purpose of escalating this gang war, gang crime and East Side West Side thing for the purpose of selling records. I wouldn't hold it against it.
I wouldn't be surprised, man. Now I'm curious. My curious question is, all this music influence, I wonder if now they're infiltrating the whole K-pop scene now with so much people.
Well, K-pop scene has
100.
probably their own.
Right? Like,
they have their own shady, like, I feel like their K-pop has its own shady side, like a dark side that is just kind of like.
Well, what are the conspiracy theories for y'all? What is the conspiracy?
Well, dude, like they get Korean pop?
K-pop? Yeah, K-pop. Like,
dude, they get trained at they get recruited at 10. And then they're like working until they're 18, like they're getting trained and stuff. So you never know. Like, and they don't make any money from what I heard. Like they're not making the money because basically artists, what they're doing is they're paying back the record labels for the investment, right? So
that's music industry.
That's the music industry in general. Yeah. So it's like I feel like Korean culture, that Korean hierarchy, I feel like I feel like that's probably worse in Korea. It just hasn't been exposed yet because in Korea you don't expose shit. You know, like
Well, I think here. So I gotta be 100 with you guys about the Korean thing. So, and it sucks to say this because I feel like a lot of Koreans are talented, like the music and TV shows and stuff. But I mean, you've noticed how K-pop and Korean dramas have been blowing up on Netflix and stuff, right? So I don't know recently if you're aware of this, but the Korean military industrial complex is strong. In fact, they're producing weapons. They got crazy money coming from the U.S. to build tanks, helicopters, ammunition, artillery, and they're sending that all towards Ukraine, like for that side. So straight up, because the Korean government was like, all right, cool, like, yo, we're gonna get all this money. But you know what? We're gonna do all this for you. You gotta do something for us. So that's where the trade, and this is, like I said, this is a conspiracy or whatever, free thinking type of idea. But
we'll have it a flashing like.
Yeah, no. But I'm saying,
times.
if you really think about it, in the past couple of years, because the main war that the U.S. is trying to prepare for is not with Russia, anyone else, it's with China. That's the main war.
Yeah.
That's the main war. So they're just getting Korea ready to get geared up. Like, yo, you better get, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the Koreans, like, at least the Koreans are smart and be like, yo, put our TV shows on Netflix, blow up our culture. And I don't know if you guys have seen, but like, yo, like, a lot of people are going to Korea. So they're doing at least that, right? They played the game right. Korea is doing it right. And that, not to say that I'm not a big fan of K-pop. I've never really been in. I was a big fan like back in the days, like Drunken Tiger.
Well,
like,
also I do
Solid.
agree with you on a certain.
DJ Doc. I love those days. Right now, I mean, I'm not a big fan. So.
I mean, I do agree with you on a certain level, but I do also think that the reason why K-pop is doing well and K-drama and stuff like that is because the Korean government spends a lot of money on the arts. They allocate money to dedicate to the arts, and after the Korean War, they focused on that a lot to where it developed into where the Korean shows were doing better, like Korean TV shows were good in the 80s and 90s and stuff. So I feel like that is a part of it. I'm not disagreeing with you. Trust me. I believe that there's a lot of talent there. Yeah.
I'm not saying that you can't be talented. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is like that extra push, kind of like we're going back to Taylor.
You could be right.
Kind of like Taylor. Like Taylor's already talented. She's already making money. All of a sudden, she said, "Dude, they kept showing her at the Super Bowl."
But she's with her.
No, I know. But the Travis Kelce thing to her is fake. You know that. We all know that.
Really? Don't say that.
Shut up, man. You know it.
They are true.
We all know it.
They are true.
Shut up.
Symbol of love. Yeah,
No,
look at this love terrorist guy.
My point being is, okay, so I'm not saying the Korean artists aren't talented. They're talented. Don't get it twisted. Like, they're talented. What I'm saying is that your ability to put them on those platforms is controlled by a very small group of people.
Sure, yeah.
Right? You're on Netflix, Amazon, whatever. And you're telling me 20 years ago you guys couldn't allow that, but now you're going to allow it now more so than ever? Come on, dog. Like, no, there's got to be gatekeepers, and that's what Diddy's role was, right? A lot of these guys, like Jeffrey Epstein's role was, these are gatekeepers, and they know how to control these gatekeepers. And you get on the right side, you know how to play the game. I'm pretty sure in Korea there's a lot of weird stuff going on with the kids, girls, dudes, whatever they're into, right? But if you're telling me that the military and the money on the military side is not involved, that's crazy to me, because I know for sure Korea is producing tanks, guns, artillery, bullets, all kinds of stuff. So there must have been a deal where, like, saying, hey, listen, we'll provide these things for you, but I need you guys to, because at least Korea is gonna be like, you know what, at least we're making the money up.
Sure, yeah, for the economy and
right,
stuff.
right. They're like, oh, you know what, at least we're gonna make money on this side. You know what I'm saying? At least they're doing that. So that's my point. I'm not saying that it's some crazy thing, but it makes sense to me. Like, hey, we're gonna do all this stuff for you to send to Ukraine. You know what I'm saying?
Get our shows on Netflix.
And you know what? Let's be honest. A lot of people are going to Korea to visit because of
Netflix,
these TV shows. And
I'm looking for my Chagi.
You know? Yo.
Even if you go to those like Korean concerts, man, majority of them are even Korean.
Yeah,
It's
it's
really
crazy.
got them right
It's
now.
crazy. So
It's you know, and K-pop stans. We're not saying that they're not talented.
Oh
Obviously,
no,
they're
I
not.
love K-pop.
We
We're Korean all day,
we
too,
gotta
like, yeah.
reiterate that though, dude,
Yeah,
because
okay,
it could taking out of context. All it takes is someone to cut it up.
yeah,
and,
they're
you
gonna cut
know,
it up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But so going back to the Taylor Swift part was my thing was when I saw Taylor, dude, there was a whole thing. We were at Cafe Blue.
Yeah.
And every time we saw, I got messed up that night because they kept showing freaking Taylor Swift on.
Take a
on
shot.
the-
that's what I did. I didn't even know that was a nationwide thing. I
No,
thought
that was a bet.
It was
here's
crazy.
that's the
It was
programming.
crazy. Yeah.
That's the programming because
There's
we
a
all saw
programming.
that. We all knew that she was gonna be shown. I knew she was gonna be shown. That's why it
Everyone
would
knew.
be fun.
Yeah.
And then they showed Ice Spice. I was like,
Why is she there?
Why is
Yeah.
she even there?
But she did some like
She did some like
a-
weird
like
satanic thing, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that
I'm
was
like-
to go in the booth with her, right?
Yeah.
Ice
I was like,
Spice,
why
yeah.
is she even hanging out with Taylor? I was like, they don't.
That is a weird. That is
It
a
would-
weird.
I thought that was Photoshop, man.
Hey,
Honestly,
they're-
it just looked
they're-
awkward,
But the
man.
point being is like, why is she even there? So like, obviously, what they're doing is promoting her. And hey, Taylor put her. I mean, so you know what I'm saying? These gatekeepers, they know how to promote stuff, right? And then next thing you know, like a week later, she's on Spotify, brand new artist, and she's doing that song. You ain't shit. You even a fart. That's literally the name of her song. Literally, that's the name of the
The
song.
Ice Spice Girl.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's what.
That's
they're
her
doing.
song.
Fart?
You ain't shit. You ain't even a fart. That's literally the title of her.
Look, I'm not gonna hate on that, dude. I wish I'll hang out.
So
with
you're
Taylor
telling me
Swift.
you're telling me that she's a talented person hanging out with Taylor? Nah.
I mean,
Come
they
on,
could be
dog.
just friends, you know. Taylor could just be lonely, like.
Taylor
we
got
gotta,
Travis.
we gotta be careful too, because Taylor fans are
Oh
crazy
yeah,
too.
we got the Swifties.
So, but either way, like,
No,
I
I'm
do.
not
I
hating
don't.
on anyone. I'm just saying.
I'm not.
it don't
I
make
know you're not,
sense.
but even if you're not, we still can get.
Well, you know what? Let's switch around. Okay.
Okay, yeah, let's switch
since
it
we're,
up,
Since
switch
we're talking
it
about
up.
this, I'm talking about the one thing that always I thought was very when I was a little kid. I watched The Simpsons,
Okay.
Yeah.
right? But as I got older, I don't know. I know you came across it where they go like Simpsons predicted this a while back, right?
He's a Freemason, dude. He's a part of the Illuminati.
No, but on the real, man, like the one thing that I was like, because everything was going hand in hand, right? Like the submarine with the submersible exploded, like something like that, Homer under submersible.
Yeah.
But the one thing that got to me that I thought was gonna remember when they raided the Capitol, and then remember there was a Simpsons episode where they all raided the Capitol.
I think that was fake though. There was a fact check of the guy with
Oh,
the
was it
horns.
really?
Yeah, with
Okay,
that episode.
but you know
with
what I'm
that
talking about,
episode, Oh, there's other episodes like
And
Trump
then you remember
coming
the other
down
one with Trump being a president.
Yeah, when he's coming down
yeah.
his golden elevator or whatever.
So
yeah.
what I'm saying is like,
But some of that could be easily predicted. Like he probably went
Real.
down that elevator a million times on his own.
I mean,
you
but
know
how
what
do you
mean?
predict him to be the president though? Remember that episode where he was a president?
I mean, you know, they were making jokes because he was saying that he wanted to be president like 10 years before he even ran. People were just making like clowning him about it. And I feel like in the 90s he had like he wanted to run for a presidency.
Well, that's okay. For another one example, you remember that when they Homer went to Japan or
Yeah,
Asia, he
Mrs.
got that detergent thing that
Mr.
called
Sparkle.
That's Mr. Sparkle, right?
Mr. Sparkle.
Yeah, but guess what happened after that? You know what I'm saying? Like,
What happened?
you didn't see that episode.
No, I think you're mixing it up with the three-eyed fish episode.
Well, the one where they predicted COVID pretty much. Like they're saying,
Oh,
that
yeah,
one,
okay,
that one,
yeah. The
that one.
coronavirus, he opens
corona-
it.
yeah, he opens it, everyone
I
gets
don't think it was Mr. Sparkle, but it was an
Or
episode.
something like that. He came back and that happened. Like I feel like The Simpsons, like I think they made it into a cartoon animation for the little kids to start watching because it's funny. And then when they adopt to it, it's sort of like psychological
Well,
when they were long.
I can say
when they're
one
young.
story. So to tell you that maybe that's a little. I don't think that he probably didn't think to start it off like that. It might have developed into something like that. But when I was in elementary school, Matt Groening came to my school and did a art workshop.
Okay.
And basically we learned how to do art animation, and then we sat down and watched the very first 3 episodes of The Simpsons. You know, when they're all like
All
weird and
ugly looking,
squiggly.
yeah.
So we watched those, and then we did a survey about like what we liked about it, what we didn't. And this was my school in Westwood when I went to when I was in elementary, and 3-4 years later, Simpsons came on.
Yeah.
So I think he was just an animator. I mean,
so you saw him when you were in school.
I met him. Yeah, I
I
have
swear
a
to God, I
sign.
saw a character that looked like you in the Simpsons episode. He probably got died.
Most of them got long faces and big noses. So I mean, like probably, but
No, but yeah, The Simpsons. I feel that's something big that people talk about.
I do think it's weird because they do hit some of the things like
no.
really
The reason
hard
why
on
it's
them.
funny is because like when I went to Korea during COVID.
Yeah.
Something I guess
That's when you got your Pama, right?
Oh, come on.
Yes.
We don't talk
Just
about
got to
that.
remind that of everyone.
But you know,
We'll put a
like
poster.
for one thing, I realized is like my parents don't watch TV.
Yeah.
But my parents brought that up. They're like, it's funny how Simpsons, the Korean accent is Simpsons, and a lot of things happening right now that Simpsons came a long time ago. It's really ironic, because I believe they believe in conspiracy, but they don't want to tell your kids like, hey. So like I got the hint, and my uncle like he's a big conspiracy theorist as well. And he's like, no, that's exactly he was drilling it. And I was like, yeah, I get that, like and then like and for another one that like was Terminator, like Skynet, like.
Oh yeah, okay.
We touched base on that, right? Like,
do you use any AI?
I mean, I'll use ChatGPT for like emails, whatever. Kind of like they have kind of an idea, but a lot of AI is not gonna be what we think it's gonna be.
It's not. Unless we program it.
I think the closest thing to the crazy things are gonna be like Ready Player One, where a bunch of people are just gonna live inside their virtual world.
Or like the metaverse, or
metaverse, and then they're gonna live there for a good. I mean, it kind of was already the case.
I'm like, they're weirdos. I got a meta thing in the back.
I
have a Quest.
What's going on in the metaverse? I heard it for a little bit, but then does it still go on? Like you can buy your own property in the metaverse?
No. So they still have that. I mean, it's like that's like crypto related. But what I'm saying is like, I think people are gonna end up living like they're already playing like. Kids are playing Fortnite and they're in that world for like hours, right?
That's true, yeah.
So
the Neuralink thing,
whatever is going to be, they're going to be in a world that's not here, right? They're going to be like, hey, I'm going to talk to my friend that's in Bangladesh because we're really fun playing games together, and they're not going to have like an actual relationship like this.
But they sound pretty tolerant to have friends in Bangladesh or like different countries.
That's one point because AI is going to be able to do the translation. You're going to have people,
dope.
You know what I'm saying, like all that kind of stuff. So I think that's more of the reality.
It's not going to be killer robots going against us.
No, I disagree. I think there's going to be killer robots too.
Yeah.
But then we make those robots to be killer robots.
No, I think that
every robot
I think they're
turns
gonna
on
be
us.
smart enough to know that I do movies again like Ultron.
Ultron?
Oh yeah, Ultron. You remember he was an AI
Avengers.
about to do something from Avengers.
Avengers.
He thought that humanity was a problem, so he wiped them out because he was programmed to be a smart. I'm just throwing it out there. We're talking about weird stuff, right?
I love it.
But yeah, let's be real, right?
Yeah. I would have thrown iRobot, but yeah, Age of Ultron's a good one.
I think we're gonna get to a place where things are gonna be so chaotic that it's gonna be so many different things going on. Everyone's gonna be fighting. Like as you can see, the world we live in, like everyone's fighting all the time.
It's already happening.
So it's like it's already happening, right? So no one's gonna get on the same. It's like impossible to get on the same page with someone, right?
Well, I think it's gonna be rich and poor, like rich. And then like the post-apocalyptic scenes where it's like you see like the really rich people that are up there, and then like just the poor people that are just living on the streets, like Dark Angel.
Yeah.
I reference the worst.
Well, even that, it's gonna be like, hey, there's gonna be people that are gonna be in that metaverse where they're gonna be rich and they might be poor in this
real
world,
life,
but they might be so rich in the other world that it's gonna be, what I'm saying, it's gonna be this chaotic thing of like we're not gonna know
what's real or not.
Or everybody who has money will go into that realm. And then everyone else who doesn't can't afford it.
Everything's be relative at that point because you're not gonna know what is reality, but your reality might be like, hey, I want to have a yacht like Zuckerberg, but some kids like, I don't want a yacht in the real world. I want to be famous in
the
meta world,
the Matrix,
and I got all the OnlyFans girls, AI fan girls in there, right?
Wait,
and that might be his dream. That might be
that's my dream too.
That might be his dream. That might be his dream. But my point being is like I think it's gonna get chaotic to the point where it's gonna be constantly like you have to know what the hell's going on. That's gonna be crazy.
Let's shift a little bit. Okay, so everyone has their doomsday conspiracies. What do you think is gonna be what takes us out?
So what do you think?
What do you think is gonna wipe us out? I think AI is gonna wipe us out.
I think we're going to have
drum roll. I'm waiting for this.
I think something's gonna happen where we're gonna realize whether it's some sort of alien or some realization that we're not the only ones here, where things are gonna blow our minds. That's what I think. We're slowly like, okay, listen, you read the Bible, whatever, all these revelations and crazy stuff, but I think that we're gonna come face to face with reality at some point. I don't know when. It might be now. It might be 10 years from now. It might be 100 years from now. I don't know. But that these stories have been told, like Cat Williams said, all lives will be exposed, right?
Yeah.
This year. And it's starting to happen, like constantly, right? All over the place. And I've come to this thing where I was like, hey, man, I kind of, like, all the stories we've been told about, humanity is only 8,000 years old, whatever.
Oh, it's all a lie. Yeah.
I think we've been here for a lot longer than
a lot
that.
longer, yeah.
Like
there's
hundreds of thousands of years.
Starting to show proof of stuff like popping up where it's like, what? Well, this shouldn't be here. Why is it here? Why is it so old?
Yeah. Like there's like the story of Korea, right? Like the origin of Korean people was like this guy Tangun ascended from the heavens and landed in Pektusan, right? Or North Korea. That's our story. But that's like the story of every other culture.
Yeah.
Where like a god descends from the heavens.
On the 25th of December.
Or whatever it is,
loose
right?
change. I saw from Loose Change, yeah.
Bro, and so I think once we get to the reality of where we come from, which I hope happens in my lifetime, then we can proceed forward. Like I think we're all like confused about where we come from, but I think once we find out, and guess what, I believe that we've probably been created by aliens or some sort of alien thing, but we won't go into that. I'm just saying.
No, I felt like he was gonna be like, guys, I'm an alien. I'm like,
you heard it here, folks.
They got really quiet.
You're eating alien cheesesteaks.
No, I think like, okay, versus movies like Men in Black. I think that's where it blew like out of space, right? Like things like that, right?
I mean, Prometheus was a movie.
Oh,
you saw that, right?
Yeah.
So you think an alien? And I agree with you. It's either gonna be Jesus comes back, or Jesus is an alien, or it's everything that was written in Bibles where all the miracles were done by aliens, and
I think those stories are just like human interpretation.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
Right?
That's how I interpret it of how it's gonna end. But I do believe aliens will be involved somehow.
Well, yeah, but I think, like, for example, we talk about the story of Noah, right? Mm-hmm. And everyone's like, oh, the story of Noah, it's a Judeo-Christian idea. It's not. It's in every story. There was a flood around the world. Yeah. It happened. And then I was listening to Rogan's podcast with Graham Hancock, and he talks about how there was a crazy event that happened, I think it was like 11,000 years ago, where all of a sudden there was a huge rush of water around the world. Oh. And what happened was supposedly there was a comet that came. Comets that destroyed these massive ice blocks, and that's where the Grand Canyon was formed. And you talk about like all these. It's crazy in the Grand Canyon. It's crazy when they find your Egyptian artifacts and hieroglyphics in caves. Have you heard about that? Yeah, they've been finding that recently. How they've been finding. So it's like.
And some of the images, they're like, you're like,
yeah, and there's like a pyramid in every, like, they're finding everywhere, and they're finding pyramids like underwater, and they're like.
I'm glad you brought that up. Underwater. I feel like maybe they might be actually chilling underwater, waiting for the right moment. Like real talk.
Well, I mean, are you talking about like
octopus? No, I'm the real. Jokes aside.
No, you're talking about that guy, Namor, right? Like Namor, or like
Aquaman.
Or you're talking about Aquaman, like. No,
I believe.
Arthur Curry.
They say that,
Arthur Curry is Stephon Curry's brother.
No, but what I found out is they said how much of the ocean has not been discovered yet.
I think, like 80%.
Yeah. But the thing is, just the fact that the 80% is not there, like.
Oh, dude, octopuses are for sure aliens.
Yeah, no, but that too. But I'm talking about. I believe there's like this crazy world that we don't know, and then we don't have the vehicle yet to get there. You know what I'm saying? Like how like that submersible. Like
you're talking like mermaids or
I'm
like.
talking about there's like underwater. Like it could be underwater something different. Like it doesn't matter.
Atlantis.
I'm just saying,
going back to Atlantis? Because Atlantis is was real. Like.
Let's just be real. Like because that 80% of it not being discovered, there has to be some logical reason behind that. Like.
Well, it is water, and it's hard to.
Yeah, I get that, but like, dude, like, I don't know. I believe
there are like videos of like fishermen going and like they'll turn the camera and there's like something swimming next to it,
like
really
a big
fast.
Loch Ness monster or something like that.
Or no, I was thinking more mermaids, and you hear that whoa, like them singing and stuff. I've seen videos like that.
So a lot of it's crazy is that thing I was telling you about, like the comet and the flood. So all the flood stories that happened at that time, like Noah's story is not unique to just that. There's a lot of stories about that. But so a lot of the like, so for example, like the English Channel, there was no word there. There was connecting land.
Yeah.
11,000 years ago. Same thing with like Indonesia. So there's like these pyramids in Indonesia and there's like pyramids off the coast of like Japan. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. Off the coast. Yeah, I saw that.
So it's crazy. So
and they're all made perfectly.
No, there's something that we don't know about, and they're like not talking about it with us,
or we just don't know because we don't know.
Well,
right?
no, because are we humans ready to hear these things? Right?
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. Cause
I'm ready to go. I want, but I mean, is everyone else? Cause this thing would throw off. If you're a religious person or if you believe in certain things, that's gonna mess them.
Yeah, for sure.
People up.
For sure.
I'm ready for it. Is like 90% of the world's population is not ready for that story.
I do feel like I talked to a few Christian, a handful of Christian friends of mine that like I always ask them, and what's funny is that they don't rule out aliens. They don't rule out aliens as being the angels in the biblical times, or being the ones doing these miracles, or even Jesus being a outer being. Like some people are like, I wouldn't, because some of the story, it's all faith, right? So it's like you got to believe this religion or this Christianity through faith, because you don't know if it's true or not.
Yeah.
But then after you start thinking and logic and you read the stories and you just it's just kind of like, man, it doesn't make any sense that someone can do that.
Yeah.
But if there's an outer being that we see at like when they described angels in the Bible, they're like translucent, like no like real like defining like features of like being like human.
Yeah.
That's what an alien. It sounds like.
It's like fallen
angels. Yeah, aliens could be fallen angels. Like.
Fallen angels.
What you don't agree or
no. So
or you're like happy. You're like happy.
No. Before we go to that part, because we could go down that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The ocean thing. So I don't know if you guys know this, but in Antarctica, there's like a treaty where.
Oh yeah, Antarctic.
I
know this. Yeah.
So there's there's something there that no country even talks about, dog.
They all signed it, and they all never broke it, or
craziest thing.
It's like center Earth, right?
We don't know.
Yeah, but that's what people think.
And then they're only I think the Germans, the Nazis, they created their own I forget what the name was. It was Swaziland. They were the first to get there, and I was like, why? They were trying to figure out why the Germans went there.
Yeah.
And they created their own nation there, and then the U.S. and there was like all these stories about a general that actually sent This general was sent down, or admiral was sent down to Antarctica in the 40s or 50s to do something, and he has these crazy stories.
He wrote like how it's like green, it's lush.
Yeah, there's like a hole.
So it's like a paradise,
and then there's another thing underneath, like
crazy stuff. And even to this day, it's like no one talks about Antarctica. So.
No, I know what you're talking about. That's what I was like.
100.
You don't think it could be just that it's just such a unhospitable land that people go there to try to do something and then they just end up dying?
If you asked me this 20 years ago, probably. Yes. Now, I don't trust. Yeah. I gotta do my own research.
Conversations on location.
We gotta go. We gotta go to Antarctica now, like, cause I gotta know, like, what is going on.
There's something shady definitely going on.
Yeah.
And Area 51, right? Like, it's like, come on, guys. Like, you don't have to. Why are you guys being protective of this like that much?
Well, I mean,
like,
Area 51. Yeah, there is. They have military. Whatever they're doing down there, it makes sense, right? Like, that's where they do all their secretive stuff.
Yeah.
Now, do you believe that they have alien technology? I don't know.
I believe. They already said it. They said that they have technology that first they said there's proof that, or there was a whistleblower that said there's proof that there are non-human biological beings that they're keeping.
Yeah.
And then there are crashed vehicles that they've reverse engineered like our technology from.
Didn't they also say, like, wasn't it like during COVID, didn't they say they were gonna sign something where they could reveal UFO artifacts?
I mean,
what happened to that?
I think they already the government was just kind of like, all right, guys, we got it. There are UFOs.
Yeah,
sorry,
but
okay.
after that, we heard about, but then it never elaborated. Just like it was like, and it's brushed.
And then Diddy happened.
And then Diddy happened. Yeah, I think that was a distraction.
It was a distraction. Right?
I think that and the more and more I go on the alien thing, it's more like there's more to it. It's not green alien. It's not like the green men. It's not these things. It's like there's a multitude of stuff, and I'm pretty sure a lot of it is spiritual, right? So like, you know, when you hear of people taking ayahuasca or DMT and they go into
on a different level,
a different level, and
third eye,
depending on where you are in your life, in your spectrum, you're gonna find the little like evil devil type of people, or you're gonna find like the pure spirit that guides you in the right. Like, it's crazy.
I mean, I got some ayahuasca if you guys want to do it right now.
No, it's cool. I'm good with it.
I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. I don't have ayahuasca.
Okay.
Or does he? I don't know.
but okay, so going back from that real quick. So we were just talking about that, but going back to the Bible.
Yeah.
So
okay.
the Bible. So, and remember I was telling you guys, I was like, hey, listen, you know, I didn't know that. So the Council of Nicaea happened in 325 AD, and this is when they decided, hey, we're going to have specific books, right? Old Testament, New Testament, and they created this thing. But, you know, I told you, I was like, hey, back in high school, what blew my mind was, and it was a reverend from my high school, you know, I went to a boarding school, whatever, and this reverend was like, hey, there's more books, and they just excluded that from the Bible. And I was like, huh? What? Because I couldn't believe it.
He's like, yeah, about this guy. Okay, we can't talk about this gay orgy.
They're being very selective of which books.
No, but one of the books is called the Book of Enoch.
Oh, Book of Enoch. Yeah, I know.
And that's like an alien story.
Yeah.
And then you
the Sumerian, like the Sumerians, and the Anunnaki come down.
Come on, bro. Yeah,
come on. I know.
I want to hear about
Anunnaki. Basically, it's like the people, like they're sky people or whatever.
Yeah.
And they came down, and they're the gods that like basically created life.
Yeah.
And then like I don't know as much. So you can kind of go into it a little bit more.
So the story is that the Anunnaki came to Earth, and like I said, I don't know. As much as I understand was like they're from a planet called Nibiru, which is beyond the solar system, and the story is, I can't believe I know this story, but it's so crazy.
I know, yeah.
This story is so crazy.
I know. I just know it was
their atmosphere was. The story is like I said. This is the stories.
Wait, has nothing to do with Scientology, right? Like
no, this is not.
Okay.
No. This is the Anunnaki story.
I know. I just
they came from. And like I said, there might be different interpretations, but from what I understood was there's a planet, the Anunnaki came from that planet, and basically this planet had an issue where it was dying, which is kind of like that Superman story, right? Yeah. And then they found Earth, and the reason why they found Earth was because there was gold here, and they needed gold for their planet. And then what happened was they didn't have the manpower to mine the Earth for gold, so they had to use DNA, and that's why like there was like these like crazy experimentations with mixing with humans and what they were doing to create, and it gets crazy. Like
they become giant, like they create giants too, right? Like so that's where the
giants,
story of giants in like like culture, like where there's giants, like that's where it comes from. Yeah. Mythological.
Like,
you're rubbing off on me, bro.
Like all the stories about like weird like giants to like Bigfoot and like things like that, right? So that, you know, a lot of these stories about, you know, whatever is attributed to that, but they finally were able to come to the humans, but there was like different factions, right?
So we're like a big science experiment.
Isn't that Amun Ra comes from that too, right? The Anunnaki story. Like
yeah.
Ra was the
so all those gods that you hear about in the Egyptian stories and Greek mythology and, you know, other religions is like these gods that ascended, and they were part of different factions. So they were fighting amongst each other about power or whatever. And that's why we look so different from black people and white people and whatever. We're all different because there are different factions of them too. But the Anunnaki thing was crazy because when I heard this story, I was like, this is wild. And then you hear like the story, like you watch the movie Prometheus.
Yeah.
And some of these stories, like dang. Like, why are we the only ones that are completely different from any other? There's nothing close to us on Earth. Not one being.
Yeah.
I mean, you would expect
species.
maybe like, even in the ocean, they'd be like, "Hey, what's up, dog?" You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, one whale species like, "Hey, what's up, dog?" Not one. There's not one. Think about it.
Which is crazy because my dad's a retired pastor. He knows about these. He knows Book of Enoch. They studied it. They studied on Anunnaki. They in class, like the myth, all whatever. So it's like in theology school. So it's like that has to
So
have
there has to be some substance
to it because they do talk about it.
Yeah.
So he knew about it. You know, he was like he couldn't explain to me because he wasn't interested because he's like Korean. You know, like, oh no, God is that. That's it, and you know, there's no other way. There's no other possibility. But he knew about it, and when I was talking to him, I was like, man, like, how come they don't talk about this at church, or they don't, you know, to bring this up or anything like that? He's doing theology, right? So they're learning all, like, within theology, all like myths and all that stuff. So it's like, so it was really cool when I heard that from him. I was like, oh, maybe that's when it kind of solidified. Where I was like, oh shoot, maybe it's just one of those things that after time they just erased it from the books, you know, from the history books, because it's just easier to do that than to explain that there was 10-foot giants walking around, you know, and they were the childs of the Nephilim and human beings or whatever. So
I feel like
you're like,
I feel like there's a lot of people gonna start researching a lot. Is like me. I didn't even heard the Book of Enoch.
Yeah,
There's more books. There's so many books, and then
how many more books are there actually?
They're saying there's like 30 books
that have not been part of the Testament Bible at all.
So in 325 AD, they had this thing called the Council of Nicaea, and that's where they decided to build the actual Bible that you read today, the Old Testament, New Testament. And that's where they decided, hey, we're gonna make Christmas December 25th. And why? Because it's the winter solstice, right? So that was a pagan holiday. So we're just like, oh, okay, cool. We'll just put it all together, and then everyone's gonna be like, oh, we'll bring these two religions together and pagan people together. And you know, there's more to it. Obviously, there's like a lot of I think there was a lot of chaos, kind of like what's going on right now. To stop the chaos, they're like, all right, cool. We're gonna put the pagan stuff and this stuff. We're gonna put it, and we're gonna create one, you know, day where we can all celebrate together, right? And then Easter is spring equinox, I believe, and that's to symbolize, hey, let's have a wonderful harvest. And that's the reason why there's an Easter bunny, because Easter bunny symbolizes fertility, because bunnies just, you know,
which is a pagan holiday.
No, but
it's a pagan thing,
it's
right?
funny because you know I work at Equinox. We do sell. They do winter solstice and vernal spring. Look
into the camera and sell it,
dude. I know. I'll be honest. I had no idea what the hell that was. I was like, all right, that's cool, man. You guys celebrate.
Dude, you're connected to.
No,
this
I'm in the middle of the whole thing.
Well, cause so I didn't know this about December. This is crazy, but December 25th is actually on the north, like our northern hemisphere. It is the shortest day of the year, and then I found this out through this I was watching this documentary. It's not a documentary. I don't even know what you call it documentary. It might be a freaking conspiracy video called Zeitgeist.
Oh man, yeah.
And
is
that how you pronounce it? I thought it was Z-Guys, but okay.
Zeitgeist.
But I'm worse for pronunciation.
So what happened was so let me go down. Let me tell you how my conspiracy free thinking. I'm a free thinker, not a conspiracy theorist. Free thinker. So what happened was like I told you guys, when I went to school, I went to a boarding school, and like, you know, my reverend, you know, I went to church my whole life. I went Sundays, you know, Easter, Christmas, you know. Actually, you know what? It was probably before that when I found out that there's no Santa Claus. Santa Claus is fake, right?
What? No.
Right? I mean, as a kid, your parents tell you these things, and you freaking that and the tooth fairy, right? Like, that's like the first lie they tell you, right? You're like, I can't trust my parents no more. Right?
Actually, my parents didn't lie to me about that. I mean, once I caught on, they're like, yeah, here.
Yeah, to be honest, my parents,
Here.
they just go Merry
money.
Christmas, and they'll be like, here's a present. I'm like, we're for Santa. They're like, Santa's not alive.
And you know what? I told my friends, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna tell my kids there's no Santa Claus.
You know, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do all that stuff. They're like, how could you ruin their childhood? I was like, their childhood is hanging out with me.
No, you should be like, what better is to be like, Daddy worked really hard for this,
no,
and I worked for you. Not this white guy that don't even know you.
What is this guy that comes down the chimney? I was like, there's no chimney at my house.
Yeah.
Like, come on, dog. Like,
we in an apartment though. Oh yeah, he has a key fob.
He's like, come on. So I think those will come with like some of the moments where, like, as a kid, you're like, what are we being told? And then, you know, you go to church, whatever, and then And then I think that moment when my reverend at my school told me, he was telling us about these books, and I was like, what? I'm just like mind blown. Like, what is going on? So I think that's where my whole not conspiracy, but like I was like in search free thinking, truth seeking mentality started, and so that's.
And then COVID was the stamp or the.
No, I mean then
the nail in the coffin to like.
No, it's not that, but like life happens, right? So you're not even worried. You get distracted by basketball, football. You got to go to school, whatever, right? And then like you got to get a job and you got to work hard, and like you're not even thinking about this stuff. I remember watching YouTube was probably like the first thing where like you could kind of like spread ideas pretty effectively.
Mm-hmm. Easy.
And then I remember coming across the 9/11 stuff, and I was like, this is crazy. Like 9/11? I remember watching the plane. I was like, what is going on? And then I remember coming across an Alex Jones video, and I know people are like, they're so crazy. Like, Alex Jones, he's crazy, whatever. When I saw the video of him going to Bohemian Grove. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you guys know about Bohemian Grove.
What is that again?
So Bohemian Grove is like this, it's like a place, it's like this like massive property outside of SF where
like in the woods, right?
In the woods, yeah. In the beginning it was like Mark Twain and a bunch of like really like free, like this back in the 1800s, like you know, people would like have sex and do drugs and do like lesbian, gay sex, whatever. If you were free flowing, whatever, that's where you went. But at some point in the early 19th century, it became a place where all the big power people came, and it became like an all male event where only the powerful people, like presidents, would go there, bankers, powerful politicians, whatever, would go there. And then, so he infiltrated. I didn't know about this. Who knew about Bohemian Grove, right?
Yeah.
But he went and infiltrated his place, and they showed this place where, like, I was watching this YouTube. I was like, what are they doing? There's like this big owl in the middle of Moloch, and they're like doing this weird child sacrifice ceremony in this video. I'm like, what am I watching?
But like symbolically, right?
Symbolically,
they weren't using a real. Okay.
Yeah, but over the years, I found out, this is where like the most powerful people make decisions, right?
Oh, okay.
Like FDR would go there, or Richard Nixon and Lyndon B. Johnson, and the most powerful people. Look it up. Go on. I don't trust Wikipedia, but at least Wikipedia will at least show you like that's Bohemian Grove. Like they'll put it there. Yeah. There's something there. So I watched that video, and I was like, man, I don't know what the hell is going on. Like, this is crazy. And then I had, for me, like, I've always been a pretty free thinker. And then I was hanging out with some friends here in LA, and we went to a bar one time. I was hanging out with my boy James, and we were talking about all this like crazy stuff. Like, oh, did you see about this? Or like 9/11? Do you think it's an inside job? I was like, hell yeah, it's an inside job. We don't know that, whatever. And then the bartender comes up to us one time. He's like, hey, you guys need to check out this movie called Zeitgeist. And I'm like, what the hell? Zeitgeist? All right, we checked it out. I checked it out. Mind
blowing up.
And it, like, listen, not 100% true. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I try to do as much research as I can. I don't know everything. But it had to do with, like, religion. So it was 9/11 religion and the monetary system.
Yes, the higher powers with the Rockefellers and stuff, right?
Yeah, right?
Yes.
And how the monetary system works. And once I saw that movie, I was like, oh man, I moved down that path. Mm-hmm. And then from there was like Zeitgeist 2, and I kept going down that path. But
I did watch some of it, but I was driving when I was watching, so I couldn't fully focus. But I'll definitely give it a shot. Like,
I think you should just
I'll turn it on and listen to it.
But don't think just listen to it?
Well, I would have listened to it like full throughout if I was driving long enough for the video to.
No, but I mean, like, I remember when I first saw it. I remember it was very intriguing for me. At first, just before I was into like whole free thinking, conspiracy, like that kind of stuff. Like I was like, but when I saw the 9/11, I was like, and then right there I went to the religion, and I was like.
Oh, you know what? I did watch it. Now that I think about it, yeah.
They're talking about like now the sign of the Aquarius. The next one's coming through, but it's the same thing. There's someone born on the 25th. There's some kind of catastrophic thing that happens. Someone betrays somebody. Like it's like a pattern. That we live. That's why they're saying that right now the Christianity is a fish, the symbol of the fish, right? I remember with 9/11, they're talking about like how it was an insurance thing. But if you hear about the dollar bill, if you fold a certain way,
wait, what is a fish? What does a fish mean?
No, there was like a symbol for the fish was this era. There's like
Yeah.
a procession of the equinoxes of how the Earth rotates and how you see the stars.
Yeah. Because it's all connected, right?
Yeah, it's all connected,
Yeah.
right? But it was Pisces.
Pisces,
Yes,
because I was like,
Pisces.
Aquarius is this.
No, yeah.
Water.
But
Pisces is
no,
a fish.
So Aquarius is now the age that we're going into.
So, yeah.
I see. Okay.
Man, Pisces was the period that we were at since when Christ existed. So it was like that 0 AD to right now or whatever. So they call it this era of Pisces, which is a fish.
And that's
So
why
now-
in Christianity you see the fish symbol. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
so
saying?
now we're moving into the era of Aquarius.
Which is like a man holding a bucket or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was what it was. Symbol was.
We're just supposed to we're supposed to go to the next
level. Well, they said that this is the age of awakening, enlightenment.
Exactly.
The dark ages were in the past, like where we were all hidden from all the lies and stuff, and now it's starting to.
All
The truth
of
are
it,
starting
yeah.
to pop up.
Yeah.
so-
100.
Well, it's happening right now.
It's happening
yeah.
right now. We're talking about it. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. I want to also remind everyone who's listening, this is all, again, all entertainment purposes. If you want to go and do your own research, right, you can go ahead because we don't know. We're not experts,
Yeah.
right? So we're just having fun. Man, I feel like we could keep going on.
We're
this,
just having
like-
fun, guys. We're having fun.
We need a part 2.
We need a part 2, and we
Yes.
want to bring on another surprise guest.
Surprise guest.
That's
yes.
gonna be a real big surprise, guys. So like, stay tuned. But dude, Andy, man, I don't mean to cut you off because I know you want. We could talk about so much more stuff.
I could do this for
But I'll-
days.
The chapters of Andy.
But I mean, you said what? YouTube, Zeitgeist. If you guys want to do a little bit of your own research, Zeitgeist. What are some of the places like you look up information on? Like 4chan.
No. You don't even have to go because listen, I think it's kind of crazy. Like you don't have to go that deep. Like
It's just popping up now.
It's popping up everywhere. Like Cat Williams said, all lies will be revealed this year. It's happening, and I think if you just take the time to like question a couple of things about my thing right now is the monetary system, and understanding that. I think we all grew up thinking, oh, we all gotta make money and buy a house and have 2 kids, all these things. The monetary system that's the biggest truth that's gonna be revealed this year because there's nothing back in our money.
It's rigged, right?
It's all crazy. So, I mean,
So eventually, we're all gonna. Everyone, it's just gonna be broke, or like.
no. What I'm saying is like I think people need to start realizing, hey, I don't know what the future is gonna hold. But I think there's different alternatives in terms of how you're gonna.
Which is like what crypto.
I mean, obviously getting into crypto or getting certain assets, gold, whatever.
Gold. I think gold. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but whatever it
divisible,
is,
yeah.
I think the most important thing is that we all understand what's happening because my dollar, and I'm telling you this as a business owner, like, hey, my value of the dollar went down 25% in the past 4 years. I mean, I'm telling you this right now, like, it's crazy. Like, I buy something 4 years ago it was one price. And
I mean,
now
that's for all of us, right?
that's
There's
for
a-
everyone, right? Your rent's going up, everything's on. So, I mean, like, it's not even a conspiracy thing at this point. It's just like, hey, take the time to do research and figure out what the hell's going on because and I'm always about truth.
Yeah,
I try
don't
to-
be blind. Don't be blind
don't
because
be
we've been blind
into
for so
this
long.
because when the shit is, I mean, listen, when COVID happened and my business was going through some crazy stuff, like, I think I was okay in terms of how I prepared and we made the decisions and we did what we did and we were able to survive. But a lot of people weren't. And then now we have like this whole other thing that's about to happen. And the thing is like, hey, just be prepared mentally and spiritually, whatever it is that's going to get you through because when your milk and your food costs go up, dude, it's going to be a problem.
Eggs, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a problem.
Yeah, these little things that are
Yeah.
cheap that we used on a daily that we need. Oh yeah, it's already going up.
It's already going up. You know what I'm saying? Like gas. I mean, dude.
Get your guns. Get your supplies. No, really, right?
Yeah,
I think it's
Get
funny.
ready.
All my boys are like, well, at least a handful of them, right? Like they're not gun guys, but I made my friends at least get a shotgun. Like each of them, like get a shotgun, get one thing, because you never know, man. Like don't be coming to my house, because I got enough, like I only got a few, so I got to protect myself. But definitely getting a gun, I think, is important because not to protect you from the government, like the like the reason why we were given the right to arms is to protect each other, like from each other, because that's when it's shit hits the fan.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna be fighting for things. Dude, we were fighting for toilet paper. What do you think if it's like medicine or water or something that's actually important? Look at what we did with here in LA, how we treated each other for just toilet paper. What do you think? Yeah, dude, we're screwed here.
You spicy fried chicken from Popeyes. You remember that?
Oh yeah, that too. I mean, human nature is just we're crazy, man. So, man, I know where I'm gonna see. He's gonna be a part of the camp. We're gonna because he's prepared.
He has the camp ready to go.
Yeah, the apocalypse camp. I'm kind of creating a super team like the
Avengers.
The Avengers of preppers and cookies and a little edgy guys, so but that's what we need is like people like that because when I joke around with my wife and I'm like, yeah, this is what I always drive and I'm like, oh, you know what, this happened, like because I see something going on, I'm like, oh, this is what I would do. And she's like, why do you think like that? Don't think like you will never get into that point. Let's just work hard I was like, dude, you don't know. Yeah, we can work as hard, but once the system cracks and breaks, we're screwed, right? So
real quick on the monetary part, I think it's like every 90 to 100 years, this system, the existing currency collapses.
Yeah,
that's just the reality of life. The last time it was the British pound. Before that, I think it was something. It was like a Dutch. The U.S. dollar right now, we're at the very end of it because there's no way for this system to continue on. It's just a reality of it. Most of it has to do with that. It's a third or fourth generation of kids. So it's, how they say it's like strong men create good times create hard times create strong men create good times create weak men create strong times.
Yeah.
That's we're at the very end of it. It's just it's the reality of what's happening. So, I mean, we had a fun conversation about conspiracy truth or like conversations
or free
about
thinking.
Free thinking, right, there you go. But I think we all need to be realistic about how the next steps are. I think that's where you're going to, and I think that's going to be good for all of us to like talk about all the time so that, hey, what's the next steps for us going forward? I mean, like society's not going to collapse. You know what I'm saying?
There's always going to be something.
Yeah, there's always going to be something. It's like, are we going to go through World War III? Possibly. But you know what? People survived after World War II. So just figure out how to get through it. You know what I'm saying?
We're going to making like soup with like our boots and stuff and like on the cartoon.
Bro, we can survive. Like, you know what I realized? Like over these years, like you can survive off like very minimal amount of food. Yeah. You don't need all this stuff.
Yeah. And rice, like we're already accustomed to rice. Like rice is like the best.
Yeah. I mean, do I need liquor? Hell yeah.
Yeah. We definitely had to fortify ourselves in like a Costco or something. Like a Bevmo.
Dude.
This is the men of Bevmo.
Yo, you know what you got? Yo, listen. Someone's gonna have a Costco like closet full of just straight up liquor because if shit hits the fan,
we're hitting it up, man.
No, not only that, you make crazy money, dog.
Oh yeah, you can try. Yeah, it's
That's
just
true.
like, man, we'll definitely have to think about how we can make money in the apocalypse because it's gonna happen. So, but shoot, Andy, man, thank you again for showing up, coming on to talk about. This is definitely different from the first podcast when you were on. You were like, people have responded like, "Oh, dude, Andy is dude, he's so intelligent. Like, I want to hear more about it." Now they're like, "This guy's kooky."
I am crazy,
a little bit, but we thank you. And honestly, again, guys, don't forget the Booze Summer Block Party,
July 6th.
July 6th, right?
Yup.
12 to 5. We're gonna be having beer tasting. Free giveaways, food, and all fun stuff.
And more details to come after.
Yeah.
We're still finalizing, but we'll get you guys
all month and stuff.
Save the date though.
Yeah, and dude, if I don't know, man. I don't know how to finish this. Like,
well, I'll finish like this.
Tell us one just a real quick thing that you're like maybe I shouldn't say this on a podcast today. Levels, right? Like, and if you can give us one more of a conspiracy or a free thinking thought before you leave. Well, you leave the audience with something, a gold nugget.
Okay, so I say this. the world we live in is not what you think it is. It really comes down to what you can create for yourself. And that's probably the craziest idea that you can have. But the way that we've constructed our reality is not real. You can create your own reality, whatever that is. And as long as you're helping other people and you're being of service to other people, I think that's the main thing. And once you do that, you'll be good.
Mic drop.
There you go. Well, thank you, Andy.
Thank you, Andy.
Guys, don't forget to follow us on our Instagram and social media, TikTok. It's Conversations_pod. Take us out.
No, it's good, man. We're out, man.
All right, guys. Peace out.